All right. This is SEO Explained with CJ. So today, workouts for your website. What does workouts for your website mean? Well, first off, we're an SEO company, SEO and web design, and working out your website is directly related to SEO. In fact, your website in general is directly related to SEO. That's why we're talking about websites so much, because the thing that you're optimizing for search engines is your website. You can also optimize your Google map and directory listing sites. There's some other smaller things, don't get me wrong. But when someone says organic search, SEO, search engine optimization, you know, 9 times out of 10, we're really talking about the website. The other one that would be really big with that would be the Google Map, and we can have separate discussions on Google Map. The last video was about the Google Map. So anything else is paid ads for the most part, right? With exceptions. But your website needs a workout, okay? Um, what does working out your website mean? Let's go with my favorite analogy, going to the gym. Obviously, I am not going to the gym. So if I were to go today, I would be the skinny guy in the gym. Okay. And I would have to be going pretty consistent, eating well, and keeping my reps up, doing the right thing, having a coach, a trainer most likely, or watching videos, whatever I can to get my knowledge, my consistency, all of that stuff up. And I'm not going to be entering any bodybuilding contests in the next couple months, probably not even a year. I would assume I'd have to go pretty consistently for a few years before I could do something like entering a bodybuilding contest. But, after 3 months, I'm gonna look, like I'm feeling pretty good, right? 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, like there's growth this entire time. And that's what your website needs. Your website needs growth. So what does working out your website really mean? It means your website doesn't need to sit stale on the internet, okay? It needs to be active. Um, Google sees an active website. Google sees a growing website. Google sees an updated website. Google sees a site and decides if it's going to put it at the top for a search. So when people say, okay, I want to be at the top of Google, well, we all want to be at the top of Google if we have a business. First, someone has to perform a search, and Google has to instantly say what's the best, strongest website to put up at the top. Google makes that choice. Their algorithms make that choice. Now, their algorithms are going to make that choice based on how the consumer, the searcher, the user of the website behaves and acts, right? So if someone has a site where a lot of people are coming to the site, if they're viewing the entire site, if they're staying on the site, if they're liking what they see, they're making contact, then Google is going to compare that to the other sites. And if your site has a better experience, better signals going off, more activity, more things happening, then Google is going to decide that that's a strong site and put it at the top because most likely your consumer decided it's a strong site. If the viewer, the searcher is leaving before they even get a chance to do anything, if they're not digesting your content fully, they're not making any actions, then and they're again leaving right away, then Google's going to see that as not a strong website, a site that's not performing well for the user. And then they're not going to choose to place it at the top. So, working out your website basically means giving your website attention. So, if we go back to the gym concept, okay, I could sit inactive and not go to the gym for the next few years and continue to, look the the skinny self that I am. And in a year from now, I could say, you know what? I need to start now. In 2 years from now, I could say, you know what? I need to start now. Sounds like it's getting a little personal, huh? But this is what happens with people's websites, right? You know, oh, I need to be at the top of Google. I don't have the budget. I don't have, the energy. I don't really know what to do. I'll do something else 6 months from now. I need to get at the top of Google. I don't have the budget. I don't have the energy. It feels like it's too late. The wait a year, 2 years, 3 years can go by in your business where you've never even gotten off the couch, your website, and gotten active, right? Because you're always putting something into another form of marketing. Now don't get me wrong, businesses have marketing budgets. There's times in business where it's better to do something than the others. A brand new business compared to a business that's revenuing pretty high, they're going to make different decisions. In the very beginning, a brand new business has to get a website and it has to get it optimized. That's no doubt. But do you need to be putting monthly, money into your website at the very beginning, or do you need to get some guerrilla efforts out there and be hitting the streets hardcore? It's all depends on the business. It all depends on the industry, right? But at some point, if you want to get actual leads from your business and you want those leads to grow exponentially, then that means your website itself is going to have to get off the couch and get active. Okay. If it sits on the couch inactive, then it's not going to be doing any justice for itself, right? How many of you out there? So let me ask, how many of you out there right now have a website that you don't know the last time it was touched? You don't know the last time you combed through it and checked the content, updated the content, made sure the content's accurate for how you are running your business right now, today, in this moment, right? I see a lot of SEO companies out there, like this isn't everyone, so I'm not trying to knock, all everyone, but a lot of customers come to us, right? I've worked with an SEO company, or I'm working with one now, and I don't really know what they're doing. I've been with them 3 years, been with them 2 years, 5 years, whatever that may be. And then I look at the website and I can clearly see that they haven't done anything to that website in a long time. So maybe when they started with you, they updated it one time or they did something big, and those are core updates, are valid, they're important. And then they themselves, the SEO company, considered that being SEO. I updated the site, I optimized the site, right? Maybe I do a blog every now and again or something. So it keeps it somewhat active. Blogging actively is good. That's active, right? But that's about it. Or some people aren't even doing anything monthly. It's just haven't been touched or grown for years. And that itself is a stale website. So you might be paying an SEO company. This is what happens when you pay SEO companies really cheap too, because they're just giving you optimization in the beginning, and there's not really much they can do. You know, often to keep it growing. So the cheaper you pay, the less work you're going to get on a monthly basis. Like if you were paying a trainer to help you out, but you only wanted to pay him, $10 a month or something, well, you're not going to get out of that trainer the same thing that if you pay whatever a normal trainer rate is. You're going to get more attention, right? And that's what your website needs, more attention. So the basic concept of SEO and optimizing yourself in search engines is optimizing the website and keeping the website active and consistent. And it's basically working out your website so that your website grows over time and becomes strong. Next thing you know, years have gone by and you've got a huge website that's extremely active and it's got a lot going on. Okay. And as you look back over the years, you don't even see that exponential growth, because it's happening slowly and quickly, right? Um, it's happening so frequently in little bits that it compounds over the years. So sometimes, on the monthly basis, the little bits don't add up. You look back on a yearly basis and you've got something that's really compounded. So working out your website is SEO, and it is super important. Now, even if you have a lower budget, just making sure you're going in there periodically and updating it is definitely helpful, better than nothing. I mean, if you're going to get off the couch, at least get off the couch and start with a walk, walk daily. These are obviously metaphors for, your website, going from being inactive to active in some form. And eventually you go from that walk to a run, or, heavy lifting training, right? So that's the basic concept of, the importance of working out your website. But what are SEO workouts? Like, what's a workout that you can do for your website? If you go to the gym, it's pretty cut and dry. You're doing arm day, back day, leg day, you've got specific workouts for muscle groups, right? So let's look at your website. Your website, every page has the ability to rank. Every page on your website needs to exist for a reason. Every page is representing you in some kind of form, your business. Okay. And every one of those pages is like a muscle that can be worked out, because that page itself most likely has the chance to rank, if it's a term that someone's searching to find. Some pages, they don't exist for rankings, they exist for other reasons, information, tools for the user, stuff like that. And then some pages have more need to exist when it comes to information that's being searched to find, right? Searchable pages. Um, so if we know that your website's like your body going to the gym, and you know that each page is like a muscle group, then you have to start deciding which pages are really, the valuable groups, muscle groups that we're trying to work out. Okay. So let's say that you have a page for each service that you offer. Those are valuable pages. You don't just want generic content on them. Let's say that you have a page for each city that you target. I speak a lot to local businesses. We work primarily with local service companies. So companies in a local city within the US who are providing a service, in like a home service, a healthcare service, an automotive service. Some of these are the biggest services that we enjoy to work with. And these companies typically service a territory, and they offer a set of services. These companies have team and staff. They have frequently asked questions. They have information that customers are searching for. How do I do this, this, this? Why would I do this, 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 relating to your industry? They might not be searching to buy your service yet, but they might be searching for some information. Maybe they're a DIYer who realizes after they read your article that DIY is probably not the best route to go. So they're going to choose you, but they got there in their DIY efforts by searching, how do I do XYZ? In your article, how to do XYZ was found, right? So if I'm looking at your website and all your pages as muscle groups, then each of these pages themselves has the ability to be worked out, right? Doing reps on these pages. So what would a workout for a web page be, or a rep? Really what I'm talking about here is SEO work, SEO deliverables, SEO tasks that I'm relating to the form of workouts for that page. Okay, so what would those be? First off, each page itself needs to be audited so that you can know if I am targeting the right keyword that represents that page. Each page has is existing for a reason, and its existence is typically tied to a set of like topics or keywords that can represent what that is. So the page name and the title of the page is often a representation of that. So let's say you're a pool builder and you offer, let's just go fun with it. You offer water slides for residential pools, something kind of fun like that. And you build a page for water slides. Well, residential water slides, builder or something, whatever. That's not a great term, but you get the idea. So the page itself is going to represent water slides. The keyword, that title of that page, is going to be related to water slides and the fact that this company can build them for a homeowner. And then you need content on that page. So the first thing you do when you're auditing it is making sure that you're targeting the right keywords and understanding how many people are searching them. How many people are searching for water slides, residential water slides in your city? It's probably a lot less than people searching for pool builder in your city or whatever a main service might be. But even if it's less, a niche is most likely uh, even though search less, probably going to be easier to find because there's less competition, right? But the point is that that page represents something of importance to your business, whether it's something you're selling, something you're informing, a representation of the team, whatever that may be. So you find the search term that people are searching and accurately titles what that page is. The next thing to work that page out would be auditing the content. Now, I know a lot of people out there let other people write their content. I know this. We write content for people. So, and I know how many of them don't read it, the content that we write, even, right? It's one of the most difficult parts of being a marketing company like ourselves is writing unique content for someone who hasn't really given us much to work with, and not really viewing, what we've done to help let us know if we've got it perfectly correct or not. It's a challenge that we have to deal with. But the point is that don't let AI write your content, not completely. Okay. AI is a tool, it's an assistant. Okay. AI basically finds knowledge on the web. It's a learning tool and it's learning everything that we put out there and it's recycling that knowledge and giving it back to us. Okay. So if you let AI write your website for your content, then they're going to pull website from all content from all other websites, competitors, this and that, and they're going to give you a recycled version of what you sell. But you don't sell the same thing as everyone else. You're not the same as everyone else. You're different. You are unique. So you can use AI as an assistant because AI can really get you a lot of great information very quickly, and it's very accurate. But then you need to go in, or your SEO company, that's what we do, and make sure that we humanize it and make it unique to you. So the reason why this is super important, don't take this lightly. Okay. Oh, I need content on my website. Yeah. You need unique. Okay. I want to say this again, unique, trustworthy content that represents your story, your experience, your expertise. Google actually has a term for this, EAT, okay? Experience and expertise, trustworthiness, authoritativeness, okay? These are terms that Google uses. So don't just have recycled fluff content. Google wants you to contribute something new to the internet, okay? And let AI pick that up and learn it and do whatever it can, whatever. That's AI's deal. But Google, the user, the world, everyone wants you, the individual, to contribute something new to the space. Okay. So as a business, you're trying to get people to trust you. You're trying to get them to trust yourself as an authority, as an expert, as an experienced person in this field. So your content needs to represent that. Again, I stay on this topic a long time because this is one of the main things that Google is looking for. Do not undervalue this. So when you go to those pages and you make sure that this page exists for a reason, this page has search terms that relate to it and clearly define what content you're going to get. And this content is very informative. It's very unique to you as a business. There might be 100 other businesses like yours, same industry, but there's only one you. You're doing it a certain way. You have stories that no others do. You have experience unlike others, and that needs to come across within that page, right? So audit the content, make sure it's unique, make sure it's relevant, make sure it's contributing something new, and then make sure that that you have a good keyword density within that. You don't want to forget the keyword. Sometimes you can write great articles and content and miss out on just some of the key keywords that people are searching, because in your industry you know the knowledge and the language, right, the lingo, but the person searching for you might see some of the lingo a little differently, and you just want to make sure that you've got keywords in there that connects the dots. Don't overthink it, don't put too much into it. 2%, keywords max, because we're not trying to stuff this thing full of keywords. It's not about that. It's about writing great content that represents you, but then just making sure that the terms people are searching are present in some kind of aspect so that the dots connect, two and two connect, right? So, how else would you work out a page? Okay. Well, you need to now connect this page within your site internally. So you got a page on your site and it's floating nowhere, no one can find it. It's called an orphan page. It exists, but no one knows where it is. Okay. So on your website, you need to have places where it makes sense to click to this page, maybe in the navigation, or maybe you're on a service. Maybe you're on a service about pool building, right? Just get back to this topic. And you're on this great pool building page. And then somewhere there's a strip about, hey, get a water slide. Okay, cool. Let me check this out. Boom, click it. Now I'm on the water slide page. Okay, that was an internal link. It kept me within the site and it got from one of my pages to the other. And these links, they're important because they drive user behavior and they're in the right placements at the right time for a user experience. It keeps the user on your site. So, again, if your website has a bunch of people going to it, they're clicking and learning more, they're staying on the pages and reading because of great content, then this is giving you good data and Google seeing that, hey, this is a strong site. It's giving relevant information. It's keeping the user interested, and then the user's landing on a contact page or something in the end and making a message. Google sees that. It's a good experience. Okay. Also, backlinks. So a link that's on another website that goes back to it. So one of the easiest ways to do this is say like chamber. Okay. So say you're a local company, you're building water slides in your local city, and you join the local chamber, and now you've created a directory listing on the chamber through your membership, and you've put a little link back to your website. Maybe you've made it back to a very specific page on your website that makes sense. And now this is a link that's it's out there on another website, but it connects back. So a back link is a link back. It's on another site, not on your site, but it links back to your site. You see this all the time when you're clicking through blogs and you're reading. You just think about yourself surfing the internet, right? You're just reading, reading, reading. Oh, that's interesting. It's got a hyperlink. You click it. Ooh, now you're on a new blog, a new site. Oh, that's interesting. I'm reading, reading through it. Boom, click. That's the network. That's the surfing the net, surfing the internet, right? So you want to put your content out there too in places that make sense. Again, let's say that you're a pool builder and there's a really cool blog out there for things to do for your house in the summer. You know, get yourself a pool, add a water slide for the kids, keep them active in the summer so that you don't have to go out into the water park. You can just do it at the house. It's a little safer, whatever that may be. And now you've written a great article about this and you've linked back to, oh, want to learn more about that? Link back to your site or a specific page. You find a cool, blog about actual pools and stuff, and you write one all about the water slides and you link back just to the water slide page. Now the water slide page has got its own link. In that page, it's stronger because remember, each page itself is a muscle group that you can work out. So to work out that muscle group, that page, you are auditing the content, you're adding to the content, you are linking internally, you're linking externally in relevant ways. There's other things you can do. You can do ad promotions that drive back to pages. Anything to get traffic to that page, because once that page gets traffic, then Google sees those signals. They see the traffic. They see how someone's using it. They see the user behavior. They're staying on it. They're reading through it. They're clicking to the next. So there's, you working the something out by basically updating the content, adding to it, linking internally, externally, driving traffic, all that. And then once the traffic's there, Google is catching the data, catching the signals, seeing how it's working. There's Microsoft has a tool called Microsoft Clarity where you can actually watch how people act on sites. One of the things they have is called rage clicks. It's pretty funny to watch. So if you're watching someone on a site and they're trying to click something and they're getting mad because that thing's not clicking, maybe the link's broken, or maybe it's not even clickable, but they think it's clickable. It's a little icon that's not even supposed to click, but it looks like a button, and they're just rage clicking away, right? That's not a good experience. Obviously, if Google sees that happen a lot, then that means obviously something's broken, something looks like something it should be. And this is producing again data, so working, so how would you work this website out and this page out? You would realize that this page is producing some issues. And those issues need to be fixed. Broken links, broken buttons, or things that just don't flow or look right, confusing the viewer, need to be fixed. So you could build your site once, optimize it once, and let it sit. Some sites, still get lucky and do well. Or you can look at your website as someone in the gym, and you're looking at all your muscle groups, all your pages, and you're really looking at them heavy, both with content, user activity, technical issues, linking internally, linking externally, how the traffic is functioning once it gets there. Are they leaving right of the way? Are they bouncing off the page? When you get a bounce rate, it means they land on the page and bounce right off it. They don't even dive deeper into the site. So you need a company, most likely because you're too busy, building water slides for homeowners and whatever else it is that you service out there. You're so busy doing that you need someone who's really focused on this. And you don't need to just pay someone a little bit so they optimize it once and then just kind of let it hang or whatever they do. You need someone who's looking at this from all these angles that I'm talking about. They're auditing the pages. They're making the content as unique as possible. They're watching how people are interacting and they're trying to fix technical issues. It's not a one-time fix. It's a constant auditing and a constant reviewing, a constant analyzing and adjusting. Um, and that's what I mean whenever I say workouts for your website. Now, you know, you can sit on the couch and enjoy the TV. You can go on a walk casually, kind of, take care of, something, or you can really hit that gym hard and you can be that bodybuilder that you're looking to be, right? And in the relation of the website, that really means like you can let the website just sit and you can do other forms of marketing to try to drive traffic to it. Or you can really work that website out and say, you know what, this website itself has an opportunity to generate leads. But in order for it to generate leads, Google's going to need to, really see something strong. It's going to need to see traffic. It's going to need to see connections. It's going to need to see user behavior. It's going to need to see relevant, awesome content. It's going to need to see activity. And then Google's going to decide if it's strong, because really your user is going to decide if it's strong, and Google's really just going to solidify what your user is experiencing. And if you can work that website out and never give up, just be consistent. Don't make it your only thing. It's just one of the things. You might have billboards, you might have radio ads, you might have direct mail, you might have social media, you might have pay per click, you might have display ads, you might have guerrilla efforts in the field, you might have events, you might have sales reps, you might have all of these things. And this is what most large companies do. They have these things, but one thing that you don't want to just sweep under the rug is that website and how important it is. Let's even just say one last thing. The website itself, for being strong and moving up in Google, is one thing. But what about that website for representation? If someone does get your radio ad, your billboard, any form of outside advertising, and they drive back to that website to vet you, because the website itself is where they go to vet you before they go anywhere else. Now, aside from the map, because the map's where all the reviews are. So your map is going to produce the reviews, heavy vetting for the reviews, especially if you're something like a restaurant or a dentist or a doctor or something, right? So that map's super important, okay? But the website is clickable from the map too, and they're going to go vet you, okay? And they might click 3 other people. And if they don't like your content, they don't like your images, they don't like your layout, they don't like your colors, they don't like your brand, you know, they don't like anything, then they're going to the other person. Sometimes you could have great content, they just don't like your style, they just don't like your brand. And it's just how things are sometimes. I had a guy once, I built the website, and he goes, "I hate that website." And I go, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, why?" And he goes, "Because that image looks just like my brother-in-law, and I hate that guy." And I'm like, "Okay, wait. All I got to do is switch this image out with a new image that doesn't look like your brother-in-law." And all of a sudden, he loved the website. So it wasn't even about the website. It was about the one image. So there's a lot to deciding factors as to why to choose and trust you. But let's up our odds Okay. Let's get the best looking, most active website with the most unique, relevant content that represents you. And let's get people to this thing, using it, showing signals, sending off user behavior so that Google says, wow, it's a strong company. It's a strong website. I'm putting it at the top. There you go. Workouts for your website. That's SEO Explained with CJ. So we'll see you next time.